Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Pam. I'm with Silver and Sparkles. I'm a guest designer here for Pink Monarch Prints, and I'm glad you decided to join us today. Let me show you the super cute project we're going to make. This is a mini junk journal, and it has all these cute little embellishments and pockets. It is made with one piece of 8x8 paper, and today I'm using a paper from the Pink Monarch Prints January. It's a little flip out that I made on this page. January kit, the Blue French Toil, I believe is the name of it, but it's January 2025 monthly kit. You can get that on their website or in their Etsy shop. I'm sure all that'll be linked for you in the description. So I hope you'll go take a look. One of the nice things about the monthly kits, in my opinion, is all the little bits and pieces that come with it, and it just makes embellishing and decorating so fun and easy. I did print the journal paper, just the 8.5 by 11, and I then cut it down to 8 by 8. And you only need to print on one side. Now, if you have a two-sided, like if you have one of their 8x8 paper pads and you want to make it with that, that would work. It's a little bit thicker, but it should still work. But if you're making it with digital, just print on one side. The front and back cover will have to be covered with a little piece of paper, but you'll save a little bit of ink. And then some of the, whoops, this one goes here. Some of the actual embellishments that I did, I used some of the specimen cards and the pieces. I did print at a smaller size just so that it would fit in my cute little mini journal. So the tidbits page that has all these types of pieces, that's at regular 100% size, but like the fussy cuts, I printed at a 4x6 photo size, and same for the specimen cards. See how mine are tinier? So if you're wanting to use this kit, I encourage you to do that. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how to use the one piece of paper to make a journal that looks like this. We might decorate a page or two, but we won't have time to decorate the whole thing, but I will, I did a fairly good flip through for you there, so you can always go back and watch that and get some ideas. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is take your 8x8 paper, and we are going to score, and it doesn't matter which direction your paper is on your scoreboard, because we're going to score it in both directions the same. So we are going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Okay, and then just turn your paper, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. And that is all the scoring. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm going to add some ink so that when I start cutting, you're going to be able to see what I'm doing, because we're going to put a few cuts in here. So probably the first thing you want to do is fold your paper. And see what I just did? See how it kind of folded uneven, even though I scored it what I thought was straight? Just always double check. You'll be happier with your project at the end if you just even everything up. That's much better. So I'm just always careful as I'm putting in that hard crease to make sure it's lining up and looking nice and neat. Sometimes with the score, it goes easily, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so fold on all of those score lines. And then, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and ink. And I'm going to ink on the pretty printed side, because that's the side that we're going to end up seeing in the finished journal, and I'm going to want those inked anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some distress ink, so hopefully on camera it'll be a little bit easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. And if you don't want to ink your project, you don't have to, but I like that look, luckily, so mine will be just fine with some ink on it. And I do also believe just working all of these fold lines, it actually makes the journal come together a little bit easier. That looks really good. I do want the edges just to have some ink too. And I'm gonna show you how to turn each of the seven, there's 7 interior pages and then a front and back cover. So I guess you could say it's 9 total, or you could, I don't know, not count the cover and say 7. But each of the interior pages turn into a little pocket. We're gonna do some notches, so we'll do a little more inking in a minute. Okie dokie. Now, we are going to start cutting. And this is where I would hold your paper in the correct direction if it has direction to it, but some of it's going to probably end up upside down just the way this twists and turns. So if that matters to you, you use a paper that doesn't have any direction to it. I chose one that was just a blue with some, I think, a fleur-de-lis there. You're also going to be decorating the pages. So again, it's up to you. I really liked this paper, so I chose this one. The first thing we're going to do is cut right in the middle, if we can, the score line, the one on the right-hand side, all the way up just to this top score line. So watch me do it before you start cutting yours, if you're crafting along with me. So you just want to cut it right to that score line. All right, so it looks like this. Now turn it, and now you're gonna cut on the middle score line all the way up to the top there. So just kind of hold it with your hand, that flappy piece over there. Try to not let it get in your way. See, hopefully you guys can see this right up to that score line. Okay, now flip it one more time. And you're going to do the same thing on this score line. All the way up, just to the top. Now, at the end, you should have something that looks sort of like this. Okay? I think it's looking great. Now I'm going to show you how to fold it. So start with it laying on your desk flat, and start with the bottom left-hand corner and just fold it up. And then you're going to do an accordion fold. So we folded that one up, fold this one back, and then fold it up. So you get to the top, and yours should look like that. Let's do it one more time. Start with the bottom left-hand corner, fold up, fold back, fold up. Now take the top left-hand corner, fold it in. So it looks like this now. And now we're going to do an accordion fold again. So we're going to go down, back, down. All right, I hope you're with me. If you need to see it again, just rewind and watch the section again. You're now going to take what is now the bottom left-hand corner again, and you're going to fold it under. So it looks like this. And again, accordion fold up, back, and up. So it looks like this, and guess what? We're going to take this top left hand, fold it under, so you have a single strip now. And again, accordion fold down, up, down. Yay! Now, this is, if you had printed on both sides or you had double-sided paper, you would see, this wouldn't be white, but these are now your covers. So this is the cover. So when you open it up, this is going to turn into a page 1. This is going to turn into a page. It doesn't look like it yet, but it will. 2, 3. And you're not going to have to hold it together like this forever because we're going to glue it. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then your back cover. So I am going to end up decorating my front and back. So I'm just going to mark that this is the front and this is the back, just so that while we're working together, we don't get confused. Now, this is where it gets a little fiddly, but I promise it comes together. So again, front cover, first page. To make these two pieces right here are going to be one page. So to make this into a page, we have to glue these together. Now, I like to turn all of my pages into pockets. If you don't want your pages to be pockets, you would just glue this panel to this panel and be done with it. However, I think it's extra special to make, and on this page, it's going to be a top load pocket. The next page, it'll be a side load pocket, and I'll show you that, and it alternates. But my very first page is going to be a top load pocket. So if you're holding your journal like I am, go ahead and open it up. So you have your front panel and then these two squares. I'm going to use a marker. Oops. And this is so that I'm going to know in a minute where to put my glue. If I put glue here and here, and you're not going to see this. This is going to be glued down, so don't worry about the purple. It will leave the top open, and I will have a cute little top load pocket. Now, I also like to notch mine. Let me show you. See how that one is notched? So I'm going to go ahead. Let's use our ruler. And I'm going to just put a little dot where I'm going to notch for this top load pocket, because I'm going to go through and do all of those at one time before we start gluing. All right, so that was page 1. Now, page 2 is going to be a side load pocket. So let's open it up. Yours should look like this. It's going to open up on this side. So I'm going to add glue here and here. So when I add the glue, I'm going to have to make sure I really get that up there. It's folded a little funky. There we go. That'll leave us with a side load pocket. And I'm going to again mark where I'm going to put my little notch. Just a little dot. We're going to do this for each page. It does change up here in a second, so just stay with me for a moment. Again, this is going to be a top load pocket, so let's open it up. We'll add glue here and here. And I'll use my ruler and mark it at 1 inch. You can eyeball it, but the ruler, I'll make sure I get it in the center. Okay, so now we had flipped that paper, if you remember. So now, again, I'm going to have a side load pocket, but now it's open on the bottom. So just open it up, and you're going to add glue to this side and to this side. So it'll still be a side load pocket page. It's just our project. The paper flipped. So add a dot here. So I know this is a little involved, but the results are fabulous, I think. All right, next page. That was a side load, so it's going to be a top load. So we know it opens this way, and we need glue along the side and along the bottom. And my dot. All right, here we go. Another side load. Pulls down. And we need to have glue here and here. And a dot for our notch for our side load pocket. We're almost done, guys. All right, another top load. So we open it up. Glue, glue. And a notch. And I think that was the last page. Now we're to the back cover. All right, so you can use a pencil, a pen, but I do think it's easier to just go ahead and mark the pages, because it will, when you get your glue out, it will keep you straight. Now I'm going to use a little, this is I think a 3/4 inch or a 1/2 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch circle punch. And wherever I see a purple dot, I'm going to go ahead and make a notch. Okay. And that one, you can make them a little bit deeper. You can make them a little more shallow. I'm going to try to make mine approximately the same. Okay, and just do that for all 7 pages. And again, it's easier not to get confused about where you need these if they're marked. And again, if you don't have this paper kit, use any paper you like. I think that's one of the fun things I like about paper crafting is one, there's so many beautiful papers to choose from. And kits like this definitely make it easy, but if you like an idea, go ahead and make it. If you have one of the other kits, just use what you have. Okay, now we need some glue. And I'm just going to use a PVA glue. And this is by Line Co. And you can use your art glitter glue, any kind of just liquid glue will work. All right, so again, now I'm looking for the purple marks. And wherever there's the purple line, I'm going to do a thin bead of glue. Try to be neat. And then fold the page over. And just try to line everything up. This is your chance to work to try to get it lined up nice and neat. Okay, if you forget or you skip one, you'll know, and you can just do it then. If you know, you don't even have to do these in order. Thin bead of glue where the lines are, because it will all come together. Now this is the one where you can kind of see my marker because it wasn't folded exactly right. So I was able to just smoosh it up there. Make sure everything's still looking good. All right, so my first 2 pages are now glued together. And we'll just keep going. So if you don't want to watch me glue, feel free to fast forward. But it's just the 7 little pages. Oh, you know what I didn't do? And if you want to do this, go ahead. I usually add ink like this so I don't have that bright white showing through if the pocket's empty. But I normally, before I start gluing, I go through and give the little notch a little bit of ink. I'm not going to worry about it since I missed the first few, but if you want to do that to yours before you start gluing, it's a little bit easier. Again, just make sure everything is lining up. And I'm not messing with the pockets yet, so they're going to have plenty of time to dry. I really like this. Now, I have also made this using 12 by 12 paper, and it just ends up being, instead of a 2 by 2 square, I believe it ends up being 3 by 3. So, you know, you can play with that if you feel confident, you know, just figure out the measurements instead of scoring at 2, 4, and 6. You would score at 3, 6, and 9. So yeah, it ends up being a 3 by 3 book. And then everything else is the same idea. Just a little bit larger scale. I think any size square that you have would work. I ended up flipping around to the back there. Okay, and this is again where remembering the front and back is a little helpful. See how easy that was? Again, it was a little fiddly, but not hard. Now, I did not do this on my prototype. See the edge? I just inked it. But I think we're going to put a piece of washi tape before we cover the front and back because I just think that would look cute. So I'm going to get my washi tape. I picked this blue because I thought it coordinated. Just cut a straight edge there. And this washi tape, let's see, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5/8 wide, 5/8 of an inch wide. It's kind of, I don't know, a standard washi tape size, and it's old, so it doesn't have the best stick to it, which is fine because I'm going to glue it down and make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and I'm going to layer on top of it here. Okay, so I'm going to just add glue along this edge just to make sure it's got a little extra stick, and then I'm going to add glue on the spine, just just carefully. And we're gonna roll it and add a little bit of glue right here. Just because, now if you have really sticky washi tape, you may not feel the need to do that. But like I said, mine is, it's almost empty too, but it is probably older. It might even be older than Elena. How's that? It might be 30 years old. Okay, front and back. Oh, isn't that cute? I do kind of like that. Let me make sure all the pages, yep, everything's still opening just fine. So that's optional. You could also do even a strip of paper around it if you want to cover up the spine. All right, now I went ahead and pre-cut 2 squares. Now these are just slightly under 2 inches. I wanted it to pretty much cover the entire front and back cover. I didn't want to see the white, but again, ink covers a lot of things. So I may just go ahead and add a little bit of ink around the edges. Okay. Oh, let me go ahead and ink this one. And then we're just going to glue those down. And then it's just making all your fun little pieces. And I had a super fun time doing that. I used the pre-made collages. I'm trying to remember all the pages I used. And again, printed them at a smaller percentage. So I still had to trim them up, but they fit nicely in my project. All right, so I hope you see what I mean by that washi tape's also going to get sandwiched in there, so it's not gonna go anywhere. I used, I don't know, the specimen cards, the pre-made collages, the fussy cuts, and then I did print, it's the last page in the kit, those tidbits, which is one of my favorite pages, and those I printed just at regular size because they're already tiny. And I think it just looks so cute, right? In the pockets, some of the little labels. Isn't that sweet? So to make, all right, so now my front and back is covered up, which is fine. I just want to make sure I don't get confused, because if you turn it around, these top load pockets could end up being bottom load pockets, and most of us don't want that in our lives. Okay, a little bit of ink, a little bit of ink. So this is the front, and I think on this one, yeah, I used one of the pre-made collages, but I also have these specimen cards. I have fussy cuts. This is one of the little collages. So even printed smaller, it's a little bit big, and I haven't decided I wanted to lose that flower yet. I guess I could trim it off here. That might be cute. Let's try that. I'm just gonna go for it. Sometimes deciding to cut something that's so cute is a little hard. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, that's going to be cute for the front. So I'm going to just go ahead and put that on there. You can always use the fussy cuts and some of the little bits and pieces and make your own little mini collage. But how sweet is that? Okay, now I did want to show you real quick because I added a few other pockets, and all you need to do for that is, again, I cut my piece a little less than 2 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little notch, and let's see, this one is a little more than 1 inch, a little deeper than 1 inch. 1 inch would be fine. And then, if you want to, you now have a little tiny tuck spot and your top load here. We'll add glue to these 3 sides. And it just starts giving each page fun interest and things. I did one little flip out in the original, so we might make one of those as well. And then just using the different pieces from the kit. This is a little tall, right? But I can fold it over like this. Super easy, or you can cut it off if you don't want to fold. Add a little ink. And I am going to get a little piece of ribbon. And I think on this one, I'm just going to staple it, but we can punch holes, we can tie bows. Just everything is just miniature size, which is so cute. All right, even a 3x3 one is still tiny, but there's something about this little baby miniature one that I love. Oops, it was not tucking all the way in. There we go. You can glue that down if that happens to you, if you do one like I did. Very sweet. We could even decorate the pocket just a touch. Grabbing this sheet of tidbits. I hadn't really planned to do much decorating, but we're going to do just a little bit because it's fun. And again, everything in the kit just goes so nicely together. All right. There we go. And we'll stick a few of the little pieces in there. And again, I just keep going, you know. These, the size I printed these at, and again, this was, I believe, I chose on my printer options a 4x6 photo size, so it did the whole page, just shrunk down. And then I just cut them out as is, and they fit perfectly on a page. They're a little big to tuck in a pocket, but you could trim them down if you wanted to make them into a tag. And then I did a belly band, same idea as the pocket. I did a little bit less than 2x2 square and cut it on the angle and did those diagonal pockets. And then this piece is just a little piece that I had. So I think this is the right width. It's probably a little longer than I want, but if you want to do a flip out, again, you can print on both sides. I left mine white so that it can be a journaling space there. This is neutral enough. You could write here as well. But of course, it needs to be less than 2 inches, but I just kind of eyeballed. And let's do this one and see what it does with a little bit of an accordion there. That'll be cute. And then I'm going to leave what is that? Like an eighth of an inch piece that I can fold over. And this is how we'll attach it. And then it'll be right there as a little flip out. You can decorate as much as you want. So I'm going to add glue just to that hinge, add it to the page, give it time to stick. If you want to ink yours before you glue it down, go ahead and look, a little flip out. So even though it is 7 pages with the flip out, that gives you extra. So you could collage, journal, write something to someone. Again, just keep making this your own. So I think I'll put one of these down and later go back. I'll add different styles of pockets, at least one belly band, some more decorations. And it is just going to be just as cute as the original, I think. Making all of the pieces to go in the pockets, like I said, is also super fun. So I hope you enjoy. I hope that you make yours unique and you have fun with it. I appreciate you watching. I hope everybody has a great day. Anna and Elena, thank you so much for having me. Working with your products is just an honor and a privilege. So thank you. Have a great one, everybody.